Turning to a CBS Colorado exclusive, for the first time, we are hearing from one of Denver Mayor Mike Johnston's biggest critics, Do Better Denver.
The social media account on X and Instagram launched 2 years ago, just after Johnston took office. Well, today, more than 150,000 people comment and like posts calling out the city. The account is anonymous, and its owner has never granted an in-person interview until now. Tonight, she's speaking with your political reporter, Sean Boyd. And Sean, she insisted on protecting her identity.
And we agreed after considerable deliberation. Her critics say she hides her identity to avoid accountability for what she posts online. She told me she's concerned for her safety, especially with the recent rise in political violence. You'll see some of the threats she's received. She is a polarizing and powerful voice in this city, and given how increasingly influential she's become, we felt it was important to hear from her directly for the first time. The creator of Do Better Denver will tell you she's not your typical dissident. She's unaffiliated, she says, has never been politically active and didn't set out to be an activist. Do Better Denver, she says, was born out of frustration with a city that she felt had become numb to human suffering.
Some of these videos deeply impact me, and I see people suffering, and I see the pain in people's eyes. I think everyone else needs to see these videos to understand the true humanitarian crisis that's unfolding on our streets.
She says she's lived in Denver for more than 20 years and doesn't recognize the city anymore. The videos submitted by her followers show people lying on sidewalks, openly using drugs, and experiencing mental breakdowns in public.
Some critics would say you're exploiting people at their lowest point in their life.
I don't think that documenting reality is exploiting people. My videos are meant as a call to action out of complacency.
The comments that follow some of the videos can be cruel and degrading. She says she doesn't condone them, but doesn't believe in censorship either.
My posts are always directed at calling out the failures of our elected officials.
Today is the day that
Mayor Mike Johnston, her top target. He says he doesn't follow her account.
I have too much to do to actually run the city, to spend time on sites that are completely not based in reality.
She says much of her information comes from city employees. Johnston says, based on what he's heard, it's misinformation.
Whenever I'll get someone on the street who says, oh, I heard this or thought this, I said, that's completely false. Where did you get that? And they'd say, that's my source. I'd say, well, that's why, then it's probably not factual.
Not once has the city reached out to me and said, you got this wrong.
We asked the mayor's spokesperson for examples of misinformation. He provided 8. She corrected one of them regarding the city treasurer's retirement. Many of the others were related to the city budget. She says she stands by those.
Well, the city might say it's misinformation now. The information was accurate at the time I posted it, because there was a reversal of policy or a reversal on a budget decision. And I mean, that's the impact that I want to have, right?
She accused the mayor's office of stonewalling, saying it ordered Denver police, for example, not to respond to her inquiries regarding crime.
They're saying you're posting this misinformation, yet at the same time, they're taking away the resources that I had available to me to corroborate that information.
We spend time responding to constituents with names and addresses who have questions that they want us to respond to, and we do that.
The mayor says the account doesn't bother him, but the Denver Police Union suspected someone in the city was bothered enough to order an investigation into Do Better Denver. The union filed a public records request with Denver police for documents related to the investigation. DPD denied the request, saying the balance of the interests weighs against public disclosure. We asked Johnston whether he ordered an investigation. He didn't answer. We followed up with his spokesperson, who said he himself has no knowledge of anything like that.
I think he is under the impression that if he finds out who I am, he can, silence my account.
An account the mayor says is dragging down the city, and she says is making a difference. She says she was the first to report that a shelter employee accused of sexually assaulting a resident had been hired by the Salvation Army despite a violent criminal record. The city pulled the Salvation Army's contract. She posted about people breaking into a low-income housing development in Sun Valley. Residents thanked her, saying it resulted in management hiring security. And she showed us numerous examples of encampments being cleared shortly after she flagged them for police. She says she's also helped facilitate family reunifications.
One of those people told me their family member is actually, they went into rehab and is 6 months sober. That to me is a huge win.
What is your end goal?
I want to see Denver start enforcing the laws that we have. I want to see zero tolerance for public drug use and camping. I want to see a shift from housing first and harm reduction to programs that demand accountability.
She also wants greater accountability for repeat violent offenders. She posts booking photos and criminal records of those released on low or no bond. She says people have threatened her life, which is why she remains anonymous, even as she calls herself a citizen journalist.
If you're a journalist, why not put your name and face on the work that you do and take the heat for it?
I don't have the institutional backing of someone like CBS. I don't have any legal resources. I don't have any, safety protections. This is not an easy thing to do.
She says she manages the account while working full-time and spends at least 20 hours a week posting videos and hundreds of dollars on criminal records.
I've had people, offer to buy the account. I've had, people try to get promotions run on the account. But I think it's important that I stay non-monetized because then people know that I'm doing this for the right reasons. I don't want the credit for this. I just want to be able to have a positive impact on the city that I live in.
She told me she does regret some of her posts and vowed to avoid any personal attacks going forward. Whether you agree or disagree with her approach, she says the city's isn't working and it's unsustainable, pointing to this year's $200 million budget shortfall. Well, she says she's always loved Denver. She's considering moving. She says the city is so dominated by progressive voices and ideas that there's little room left for other perspectives.
So a lot of people might say, why doesn't she run for office, make some changes herself?
And she says she's considered running for office, but she believes she can affect more change with Do Better Denver. Thinks of it as her volunteerism in the city, and she also says she actually enjoys her paid job.
Yeah. Sean, thank you for that.